Donald Trump might actually hate being president. Now, why would I say that? Well, this is according to recent interviews conducted by Politico of nearly 24 people who have spent time with Donald Trump since his inauguration. Now, this is a great article. There's a lot of stuff in here, a lot of fun stuff that really shows you what's inside not only the Trump administration, but how Donald Trump is dealing with it and his staff. Now, they say that Trump's mood has careened between surprise and anger as he's faced the predictable realities of governing, from congressional delays over his cabinet nominations and legal fights holding up his aggressive initiatives to staff infighting and leaks, according to this report. Well, look, man, governing ain't easy. Yes, he's under constant scrutiny, constant criticism. The press, obviously, not a fan of him, okay? But it seems to be pretty weird that he didn't expect that, or maybe he did, and maybe he just can't handle it very much. I don't know. But see, this job is unlike any job that Donald Trump has ever done before, because it actually involves doing work and knowing things. Two things Donald Trump not exactly known for. In fact, according to one senior official, and this is amazing, Trump often asks simple questions about policies, proposal, and personnel. And when discussions get bogged down in details, the president has been known to quickly change the subject, to, quote, seem in control at all times, or direct questions about details to his chief strategist, Steve Bannon, or his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, or House Speaker, Paul Ryan. So, look, simple stuff he's okay with. But when you start getting into detailed policy, oh, I don't know this stuff. Hey, Steve, you handle it, Steve. Paul, come here. I need some help. My God, man. Look, he doesn't run this place or he lets Steve Bannon essentially run the place because he's so out of his depth. He's so out of his element. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. Now, the official also notes that Trump privately expressed disbelief over the ability of bureaucrats, judges, or lawmakers to not only delay but stop him from filling positions and implementing policy. Again, that is a misunderstanding of how government actually works, because our government is set up with systems of checks and balances. Legislation is supposed to move slowly because there are a lot of different levels of bureaucracy to get to, and it was designed that way. It was designed that we didn't just do things on a whim. Donald Trump doesn't understand it. He's like, I CEO. I pass thing. I tell you what to do and you do it. And that's it. But he doesn't understand it doesn't work like that in government. Government's completely different than running a business. He believes that he's CEO of America. But America doesn't have a CEO, it has a president. And it has all these different systems. Now, what's interesting, what's more interesting is about what they say about the inner workings and the mood of the White House. It says the interviews paint a picture of a powder keg of a workplace where job duties are unclear, morale among some is low, factionalism is rampant, and exhaustion is running high. Most of those interviewed for this story had requested anonymity to describe the inner workings of the White House, where they say the tension has been intensified by the president's propensity for knee-jerk micromanaging when faced with disappointment, and jockeying among aides to avoid blame or claim credit when possible. In fact, there were two visitors that commented in this story to the White House last week that said that they were struck by just how tired the staff looks. Well, I guess being in that environment would make anybody tired, especially since you're dealing with a man-child who doesn't even understand what the job is and is becoming increasingly paranoid over leaks and, of course, is pissed off at all the infighting. Now, let me give you some more quotes from the story. After Trump grew infuriated by disclosures of his confrontational phone calls with foreign leaders, an investigation was launched into the source of the leaks. According to one White House aide, National Security Council staffers have now been instructed to cooperate with inquiries, including requests to inspect their electronic communications. Wow. Hey, give me your iPhone. I'm going to need to check that. Okay, Donald, just don't go on the Twitter, okay? What's that? Oh, I'm tweeting. No. I'm just kidding there. But anyway, The administration is considering limiting the universe of aides with access to the calls of their transcripts, said one administration official, adding that the leaks and Trump's anger over them had created a climate where people are, quote, very careful who they talk to. But no. That doesn't sound like a bad thing at all. No. Sounds like he's running a tight ship. I don't understand. So this is a mess. It seems like, to me, the White House is eating itself. But there's more. The president and his allies believe career NSC staff assigned from other agencies are out to get them. This is classic paranoia. In turn, some NSC staff believe Trump does not possess the capacity for detail and nuance required to handle the sensitive issues discussed in the calls, and that he has politicized their agency by appointing Chief Strategist Bannon to the council. So I guess so he's there as kind of a counterweight. Now, last week, Trump told an associate that he had become very wary of the infighting among and leaks from his White House staff because, quote, it reflects on me, and that he intended to sit down staffers and tell them to, quote, cut this shit out. He also became aggravated after learning about complications surrounding his appointment of one of his top fundraisers, a man named Anthony Scaramucci, to a plum White House job, which Trump blamed on internal jockeying between aides, according to one person with knowledge of the situation. Trump was, quote, furious. He doesn't like this shit. Hey, man, welcome to politics. You wanted it. You got it. Now, look, it's not all that bad. I mean, besides the work. They also note that Trump does like the attention. Quote, sources said Trump appears to enjoy showing visitors around the Oval Office, where he spends most of his working hours, and keeping tabs on how his staffers look on TV news. Trump, a voracious consumer of cable news, is obsessive about looks and appearance. We already knew that. I mean, this is a guy who didn't hire somebody on John Bolton because of his mustache. He didn't like the way his mustache looked. Oh, come on, man. He's so incredibly vain. Now, he was very unhappy about a Saturday Night Live parody of Sean Spicer, and because the combative press secretary was depicted by a female comedian, Melissa McCarthy. Now, of course, Trump, he don't like that. He don't like that at all. How dare a woman play my press secretary? I don't like this. Bad. Sad. Look, basically, the only thing about being president that Donald Trump seems to like is the attention, the fame, and the power. So basically, he leaves the job of governance to Jared Kushner, Steve Bannon, and Paul Ryan. But mostly, of course, Steve Bannon, who basically runs the place. So if you, of course, have any question of who's actually in charge and writing the executive orders and doing most of the work, it ain't Donald Trump. All he's there to do is to golf, tweet, and watch cable TV and call Joe Scarborough. See, and look, this whole thing would be hilarious if it weren't so sad. But see, that's what we get when the electorate decides to put in a reality TV show star as their president. Not even really a star. See, I mentioned before in the article that it was a powder keg, right? Well, at some point, powder kegs explode. And nobody knows the damage that it's going to cause when that happens. So, watch out, man. This is going to get very interesting and very entertaining. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.